Oops. Oh, at me. How nice for you. Well, we now have the chess piece. Dear Diary, today Dr. Bullard and I built a chassis for his new weather device. It's weird as usual. I don't really get why we're building it, but Dr. Bullard doesn't explain things. Tomorrow I need to go buy some bottles for the base. Today was Mom's birthday. She would have been 54. I bet she would have liked the work I'm doing now. I hope she's proud somewhere. I had that nightmare again last night. It's been over a year since I had it last, but it never changes. I've written about it over and over, but the writing seems to help, so I'll tell you about it again. I'm 5 years old in our apartment in Chicago. It's dark. I've gotten out of bed to get some water, but I hear something coming from Mama's room. I peek in and see a tall man standing over her. He has his hands around her neck. He's breathing hard, and in the cold night air I can see his breath. It streams out of his mouth like smoke and seems to cover her. There isn't any breath coming from Mama. She's already dead, but he continues to squeeze. When I was a kid, I thought the dream would go away when I grew up. It hasn't. Well, I guess that's it for that. What? What? Oh my god, are you kidding me? Come on, I'll kick you down the stairs. Aw, oh, you asshole. I wanted to kick them down the stairs. What the hell was that? Alright. Okay, let's go. Shit, did he go backwards? Shit. Nope, wrong way. Damn it. Well, it's not that way. This way? I hate those things, they're so annoying. Hey dude, what's up? You're, rather white to be wearing that type of mask. Yeah, huh? Oh, that's an interesting effect. Oh no, not the man in the raincoat. What is it, Scooby-Doo? Yep. That was ending C. The human brain is, at some level, not unlike the pot that produces my coffee every morning. The water I pour into it is infused with the qualities of the roasted bean. The grounds themselves do not pass through the filter, but the liquid that collects in the carafe is no longer simply water. It has been permanently altered. Every part of my body is a sensitive instrument. My skin, my eyes, my muscles, my tongue. If I am a coffee pot, the stream of physiological information is the water, and my conscious mind is the coffee in the carafe. And the sieve, the filter that makes the drink palatable, is the subconscious mind. Dr. Bullard, I followed your instructions to calibrate the Tempest prognosticator. Your concern was correct. The bottles must be placed from heaviest to lightest to produce accurate results. The actual weight depends on the leech used, so I have to recalibrate every time you want to take a reading. Also note that recalibration is required if the battery in the base dies. However, the device works as intended. Once the model is aligned precisely with the moon, it may then be used to start the lunar dream apparatus safely. Josie. Using the moon as a trigger for the lunar dream apparatus has its problems. The moon must be full or nearly so. The night must be clear and the process must be started at a very specific time to ensure that the moon is visible from inside the chamber. Josie's been following weather reports and using lunar charts to try to predict dates for ideal test conditions, but it's an error-prone process. The data we get back from the Weather Service just isn't precise enough. Today I hit upon the solution. We will build our own weather device. In fact, we can base it upon the exceedingly accurate design from a century ago, the Tempest Prognosticator. I'll have to make some modifications for our purposes, of course. I'm sure that with some tuning we can build a device that responds exactly to our weather needs. Then we'll need to get some leeches. Okie dokie. Oh, there's something over there. Oh, there's something there too.
Marguerite Higgins is my hero. She won a Pulitzer for her reporting in Korea. I went to college because of her. She goes to war zones, marches with the troops. Nothing scares her, and she gets the story. Marguerite Higgins doesn't run from a juicy story just because her life is in danger. Neither will I.
Dear Harris, I read in the paper today that you received a special award from the college for groundbreaking research. I'm writing to wish you my sincere congratulations. I've said some things that I regret, but today I wish only to extend good wishes to you and your future endeavors. Do you know the scene in North by Northwest when Cary Grant disrupts an art auction? He makes nonsensical bids what the police are called to haul him away. I saw it last summer at the cinema we used to drive to in Logan. It was lonely to go alone, but that scene made me smile. My life feels like that sometimes. I poke my head up and say something crazy every now and then, just on the off chance that somebody will take me away from all this. I'm no Cary Grant. I'm afraid. I'd like to hear from you. Please drop me back. Sincerely, Cynthia. Are you kidding? You threatened him with a shotgun and you miss him. What is your problem, lady? Have some consistency, please. No it doesn't. Okay. There's either water dripping, or the woodcutter is making that noise. Yeah, I thought so. Chapter 8. The passage continued downward, a steep slope like we were going down a hill. The smooth crystal didn't give our feet purchase, and we were trying our best not to slip. It was dark as night, but the light from our helmets reflected strangely from the walls, making them dance blue. Once or twice I thought I saw a flicker in the glass, but it was just a trick of the light. It was cold down there. None of us was wearing a jacket. It dawned on us that we had come totally unprepared. A few hours before we had been whooping and shouting, excited by the crazy angles that cut the crystal entrance out of the cave wall, sure that we'd found something that was going to make us rich. Now we walked in silence. Henderson's face wore a hard, determined look. Johnson's was all suspicion. Jimmy just looked scared, his skin pale and his eyes wide. I opened my mouth to say something to him, then shut it. Either we'd find a way out, or we'd die down here. All there was to it. It was then that Johnson screamed. It's a short-ass chapter, dude. Alright, let's check this out. Let's walk over to it. Okay. Hmm.
Dad took me to Wichita once before he died. We drove for 4 hours to get there, ate hamburgers, and watched a movie. Then we went home. He never explained, just told me to get in the car. I guess he knew he was going to die.
The little mail fraud enterprise Bobby and I are operating has paid off. Since the beginning, I have had suspicions about Woodcutter's true identity, but I cannot confront him without evidence. Several months ago, I started paying Bobby extra to steal outgoing correspondence from a particular individual's mailbox. We steam open the letter, give it a read, and then send it on its way. It's not the most exciting trick in the book, and Bobby certainly doesn't like it, but I've found it an effective method of surveillance. Today we intercepted a very interesting letter. This one confirms most of my theories and has been locked away for safekeeping. When I have one or more two pieces of the puzzle, I'll nail Woodcutter to a wall. I'll have to do it quickly, though. The device, my ace in the hole, is almost finished. When it's completed, there will be no reason for Woodcutter to let me live. I'll just have to get to him first. Okay, what's in the box? Cynthia called me today. She sounded drunk. Sometimes I think she calls just to get a rise out of me. I maintained my calm this time, declined her invitation to meet, and told her in no uncertain terms that if she was looking for money, she had best look elsewhere. And now I'm going to go get drunk myself. Graham came by my office this morning. He had a strange-looking envelope. It was addressed to me, but had been pushed under his door. It bore no return address, just the single word Woodcutter. I had to run to class and haven't had a chance to open it yet, but something about it makes me uncomfortable. I hope it's not another love letter from a student. Graham is a weasel. He's never stepped foot in the lab or run an experiment, but he makes it sound like he's the brains behind the whole program. Without me, he'd be a washed-up theorist with nothing in his name. Ooh, the picture changed. Cool. National recognition for local college. Washington, D.C. The National Academy of Sciences announced its annual picks for leaders in science academia on Wednesday. Among the recipients of this prestigious award was our own Oakley College in Logan. The college won recognition for a controversial research paper published by the school's small neuroscience department last year. We are very proud to have our work recognized in this way, said Dr. Graham Wellington, chair of Oakley's Brain Studies program. We are a very small program focused on areas of research that the big schools ignore. We applaud the Academy of Sciences for giving us the chance to prove ourselves. The award-winning paper, authored by Wellington and Dr. Harris Bullard, was written in 1962, but only published last year. Titled Accessing Subconscious Waves Through Twisted Pair Electroencephalography, the highly technical paper caused some controversy in the neuroscience community and was ridiculed by many experts in the field. The paper was the source of some local tumult as well. This paper was written entirely by Dr. Bullard, said one Oakley student who did not wish to give his name. Wellington just put his name on it and took all the credit. Bullard, who retired from the school last year, could not be reached for comment. Yes, that's what they do. Star, circle, square. Okay. Bill, I owe you many thanks for forwarding my request to the New York Times. I think we have the opportunity to tell one of the great science stories of the 20th century and make a considerable sum in the process. The Times is a great first step, but when we are finished, I want to have headlines written about me on the front page of every paper in the country. The key to our success is Harris Bullard's brain research. He's discovered something fundamental about the operation of subconscious brain waves, and I believe that we will soon harness this knowledge to build a device whose object is to make men superhuman. Our first task is to produce this device before Bullard can publicize it, and my plans for accomplishing that are already in motion. Once the device is in my hands, I am confident that I can reproduce and improve upon his work. That, Mr. Mitchell, is where you come in. An invention of this magnitude must not be consigned to the boneyard of the academic journal. It deserves praise and recognition from the common man. We will make it the story of the year, and then we will sell the technology to those rich enough to meet our price. For now, we wait for Bullard to finish the device. Then we will make our move. I look forward to your continued cooperation in this mutually beneficial partnership. Best regards, Graham Wellington. Wow, what a dick. No, it's a safe combination. Okie dokie. This kitchen is huge. Wow, that table's really beaten up. I hear our fridge running. Ha! pair of goggles is provided, which includes a metal strip, a battery, and lenses, an assembly which, when placed over the eyes so that it rests upon the head, permits the metal strip to touch the skin just above the left ear and, crossing the forehead, to touch the skin above the right ear as well. The function of the metal strip is to detect, upon contact, electromagnetic impulses from the brain and to transmit them to the lenses. The lenses are created from a glass material, reference co-pending application serial number 655234, filled April 12, 1957, that is made to alter its refraction of light based on electromagnetic impulses received from the metal strip and amplified by the battery. The invention relates to the visualization of electromagnetic activity in the brain, and more particularly the creation of visual patterns based on the neural activity of the subconscious. Interesting. Harris Bullard, I am woodcutter. You will complete your research and then hand it to me, or we can discuss the South Pacific in 1944. Bobby, here's a list of supplies this week. I know you're angry that I haven't paid in a month, but please wait a little bit longer. I'll have some money coming, and I'll be able to pay you soon. Dear Harris, Happy New Year. I suppose I am wasting my time by writing you again, but the new year always makes you think about the past. I was very upset when you did not respond to my last letter. I was told that you refused my calls at the college. I understand that you are still angry, and for that I cannot fault you. But unlike you, I have gotten past our little meltdown. I have grown to see it as the inevitable terminus of our relationship, something that had to happen sooner or later. Like spilt milk, as they say, it's not worth crying over. But I do have a request. I will make it plain. Harris, I need money. Some of my investments went bad last year, and with Kennedy in the White House, soon the others will certainly fail. You may hate me now, but I cannot believe you will consign me to a life of poverty. Somewhere deep down inside you, under that mask you wear in your daily life, I know you must still feel something for me. Please say you'll help me, just this once. Put down the mask and trust your feelings. Humbly and sincerely, Cynthia. Animal crackers! Oh god, leeches. Cold winter increases risk of exposure. Kansas City, Kansas. With temperatures below 20 for most of the state, experts warn that deaths from hypothermia are on the rise. Several deaths have already been attributed to the cold this year, including 2 hitchhikers from south of Ottawa and a man in Wichita. December is one of the deadliest months, said Charles Manning, chief medical examiner at Ottawa PD. People don't realize how cold it's gotten and go out unprepared. Profound hypothermia occurs when a person's core body temperature drops below 90 degrees Fahrenheit. However, scientists do not yet understand why the deep cold kills some people and spares others. According to Manning, men are at greater risk than women, and the cold is particularly dangerous for thin people. Identifying death by hypothermia can be a challenge, said Manning. If the victim is found in the snow with his clothes half off, then we know. But sometimes bodies aren't recovered until much later, often without a mark on them. Scientists do not understand why some victims of hypothermia remove their clothing, a phenomenon called paradoxical undressing, while others do not. Last March, the body of a 30-year-old woman who had been missing for several days was found near Topeka. After failing to identify the cause of death, the coroner chalked it up to exposure to the elements. The easiest way to stay safe is to not go out alone in the cold, especially at night, said Manning. If you must go out, make sure that other people know where you're headed and dress warmly. If you're in a car accident, stay in the car. Don't try to hoof it to the next town on your own.